Hello again, students, and welcome to another lesson of www.sketchup.com free. And with today's lesson, I'm going to try to teach you how to make an imaginary planetary rover. It could be a moon rover, it could be a planetary rover, it could be an exoplanet rover. And without further ado, let's begin. I'm going to navigate directly to www.sketchup.com. www.sketchup.com. And once you find yourself on the landing page, go to the upper right corner where you see the person icon and select My Apps. If you're logged in, it takes you to your products. In My Products, I select that and navigate to the free version, SketchUp for the web, launch it. And when you see the blue logo, you know you're there. With this assignment, I want you to create new simple template feet and inches. And as is customary, I want you to go to the lower right corner there where it says Model Info. It's the second tool up. Click and select decimals. Leave the precision as the default. I'm going to change the snap interval in this case to 0.001. It's a very small number. Hit Enter and leave that there. Select the 5'8" lady and hit the Delete key. And then go to the fourth tool up on the right, which is the Scenes tab, and make sure you put it in parallel projection. And I'm going to put mine in right view today. It's the house with the chimney on the side. Use the pan tool to move your origin and your axis down to the lower left. With said, I'm going to create the chassis first. And I want to make this a size that can be used with other things that I've made, like the rocket, the space station, the X-plane models. You have a whole series of flight and space items. So the first thing to do is use the line tool, and I'm going to make the front of this vehicle, and I'm going to zoom in quite a bit here, make the front of this vehicle 2 inches. So as I zoomed in, first of all, with my mouse wheel, and now I'm pushing my line up this blue axis, and when I'm going to type a 2 on my keyboard, 2, and then enter. Now I know my first line, and that's the very front of my space rover, is 2 inches. And so now I'm just going to use my design proportions to create the side view. And this is the cab where the astronauts will sit as they drive along the surface of the exoplanet. And this particular area is the life support systems, the air conditioning, the heating. Now this is the heavy equipment area with tools, and there will be a robotic arm on the back where we can scratch and claw the surface of your exoplanet or your moon to search for fossils. Now that's the side view of my vehicle. So I'm going to now use the orbit tool, see, and I'm going to use the push-pull tool to push my vehicle. Actually, I pull it out this way, and I'm going to enter 5 on the distance, 5, enter, and that's the width of my vehicle. Back to right view. Now I'm going to use the pan tool and move this way down lower left so that I can work up here and keep my robotic arm separate from my chassis. So this is going to be the robotic arm, and the first thing I do is select this arrow and select this line because I want to make the robotic arm fit right on that surface. So I go Control C, Control V, move it up here, and then I'm going to use an arc. This will be my pivot for my robotic arm. Click, and I'm going to bring a pivot up here, and then I'm going to use my lines to draw the side profile of my robotic arm. It's imaginary, remember? So just making it. You'll see in a minute. In order to get accuracy, it's a good idea to, now I'm going to use the pan tool Return to the line tool. All right. Now I'm going to add some extra details by putting some extra pivots using the circles. I'm going to make a pivot here and a pivot here and a pivot here. All right. Now go back with the eraser tool and erase the interior lines. Very well. Now I'm going to use the orbit tool and then the push-pull tool. And I'm going to pull this out 0.75 inches, or actually it seems to be having a little bit of an issue. All right, so I pull it out 0.75. That's 3/4 of an inch. Hit enter. All right, now I'm still leaving that separate. And now the final, or actually I'm going to have two more components. I'm going to have a cockpit dome, glass dome, and I'm also going to use tank treads on the side of my vehicle. So with that said, I'm going to work on the tank treads over here. I'm going to move my arm and my chassis way over here because I want to make sure I keep all my components separate. This is the most challenging part here, making the tank treads. So the first thing I want to do is use the line tool and think about how large the tank treads are going to be. So, and I'm going to make a trapezoidal shape as a guide for my shape. I'm going to use the circles here. After I've made my trapezoid, I'm going to put the circles here. These are the wheels for the tank treads. And I'm going to enter 0.75 as the size. 0.75, enter. So I select on this vertice, 0.75 on the keypad. And then I'm going to click, stretch, 0.75, enter. Click, stretch, 0.75, enter. All right, now I'm going to use, I can actually use the delete tool. So I want to use the select tool and select this line and hit delete. I'm going to get rid of all these lines, except don't get rid of the blue. And make sure you're selecting only the lines. See, if you get the dots, just select again until you get a blue line, then hit delete. Blue line, delete. Blue line, delete. Blue line, delete. See how I'm deleting those? All right. Now I'll return to the line tool, and I want to connect the tangent point of all of these one after another. Connect the dots. So I'm going to select here, click, and move my line over here, click, and then hit escape. Here, click, go down to here. Zoom in a little bit, click, escape. Go here, click, click, escape. And then maybe you can use the pan tool to get a little better view. Back to the pencil tool, click, click, and there. Now, once you have that shape, what I want you to do is select the entire thing and make a copy. Control C, Control V, and place it up here. These are the techniques I developed just to make things work out well for me. And now I'm going to go back to my original shape and select the wheels and remove them. So just select those, remove. Be very accurate. Select the interior, delete. Now I'm going to use the offset tool. We use this in one of the very first lessons this year. It's under the push-pull tool, third tool down. So you can select your, oops, that's not working, Control Z. Maybe I need to do this. Click, there we go. So I guess you leave the blue inside, but first of all, I'll show you that technique again. So leave this blue inside, but go to the offset tool here and select the inside and then push until you get a larger shape on the outside. And then you want to enter like a 0.2 thickness. that represents the rubber tread on the plates that grind along on the surface of the planet. Okay, and now I could go with my select tool, hit that interior blue area and hit delete, and then use the orbit tool because I'm going to extrude now. I'm going to use the push-pull tool to select my tank tread and push it 1.5 inches inner. All right, so that's my tank tread. Now I'm going to look at it in right view again, and I'm going to go to my wheels, and I'm going to select all those lines that were connecting the wheels, and I'm going to select them and delete them. And then I'm going to use the orbit tool to push each of my wheels 1 inch. So push it, enter 1, enter. Select, push, 1, enter. Select, push, 1, enter. Select, push, 1, enter. Okay, now I'm going to look at it from right view again, and I'm going to use that marquee tool, the select tool, and then make a marquee, and then grab the move tool and pull my wheels down and place them right there. Now I'm going to make a component out of this entire tank tread. So I'm going to select the entire thing. I'm going to go inside here, maybe on top of a wheel, and right click, make component, select any as the glued to surface, and then just you can change the name if you want. Call it tank tread, and click OK. And there I've created a component out of the wheels and the tread. Now I'm going to right click. Actually, I'm going to just go select it, go Control C, Control V, bring it up here. Then I'm going to right click, flip along components red. Okay, and then I'm going to view those to see, are they opposite of one another? And they look like they are. See how the wheels are indented here? And then on this side, they're indented there. So they're opposites of one another. Look at it from right view. And I'm going to go top view now. And you can see how this one is already selected. So I'm going to just grab the move tool and pull it over and place it. And then look at it from side view and pull it down and place it. Maybe there. Okay. And let's look at it again from top view, let's say. Let's see what happens if I move it and snap it. Okay, so far so good. Now I'm going to use the pan tool so I can make a better selection. I'm going to select, again, look at it from top view. Let me orbit for a second. Yep, top view. Okay, I'm going to move, and move. And I'm going to look at it from left view and try to bring it down and snap it. Basically, try to snap it to a similar location here. It's having a little bit of trouble snapping there. That's close enough.